Hello, and welcome back to the Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Summer, and today we have a special guest, my brother, Matthew. And today we're going to be talking about cheating.
And other things.
Yeah. In your opinion, what would you say is the definition of cheating?
So for me, I define everything relationship-wise as biological terms. Basically, you and your partner and reproduction. So anything that takes away from your family and takes away from your opportunity and scares you away from reproduction would be termed as cheating. Someone could have sex with somebody else as long as it was termed, as long as they were speaking honestly about it.
I call cheating something with a negative connotation. So if that would just be an open relationship to me. If you are having other relations and then your partner knows about it.
But let's say it's not open. Let's say it's just one thing that happens one time.
Like a one-off?
Yeah, and the whole time you were completely open and honest, both people were completely open and honest, it wouldn't be defined as cheating. So cheating would be
lying.
Okay, when you're
deceptive.
cheating in a Monopoly, say you're playing Monopoly and you steal cards and you steal something, you're cheating. But if you say, hey, I'm losing the game, I'm absolutely losing, can I just take this, can I not pay when I land in a park place? Can I not pay?
But then would you be asking for permission from your partner, or would you be going and doing it and then after the fact letting your partner know, like, oh hey, yesterday I cheated on you?
Well, the partner would probably define that as cheating.
Yeah.
Because that's like you playing Monopoly, not paying when you should be paying.
So then you mean it would be like, hey babe, I'm going out to the bar tonight, something may happen. Then what's that?
No, that would still be cheating. You'd have to say, hey, this is the lifestyle that I choose. This is the lifestyle
So wouldn't that just be open relationship then?
Well, if it happened one time, it wouldn't be an open relationship. But if it happened all the time and that's how the standards were, then it would be an open relationship.
Okay. Okay. To me, cheating means anything that you do that would break your partner's trust in you and in the security in the relationship.
Would you say that it would ruin the integrity of what you're trying to do? Because if you cheat in basketball, you're ruining the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
If you cheat in a relationship, you're ruining the integrity of your relationship.
Yeah.
Everything that you've built, everything that it stands for, you're ruining it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
By being open and honest about your whatever you choose to do, you wouldn't be cheating.
What if your partner isn't okay with that?
Then you're cheating.
Okay. So if you're honest, but then your partner's like, no, that's not okay with me, and then you go and do it, it's cheating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your partner would tell you that's breaking my trust.
If this is hypothetical, you have a girlfriend and she has cheated on you and you never find out about it, your entire relationship. It was a one-off. I found out about it like 10 years later.
No, 70. Let's say you find out at 70.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
So you're 70 years old, you find out. There's been people who've been 70 years old, find out that they've been cheated on, and they will divorce their wife of 40 years over it.
Yeah.
And I've wondered, like, why is that happening? Because they built something good and everything was fine until they found out. So why would they go and ruin it now? It's because they cheated.
Yeah.
They cheated.
It's a deception.
Integrity.
Yeah.
So if all that person had to do is say they were 30 years old and they said, this is my wants and desires. They pointed them out way beforehand. That person can now do whatever they want in life. So if you were dating somebody and they were like, this is my desires, this is what I want to do. I want to go, I don't know, something stupid. I don't know.
Well, I consider almost everything cheating. So if somebody got a dance at a strip club, I'd be like, you're cheating. So
well, let's say someone wanted to do that. They said, I want to do it. I don't want to be limited in my life to that, and I would like to have a dance from a stripper. And they said, I'm gonna do it. I really hope that you want to be with me, and you hope to be with me. What you would do You might break up, but you might not. And if you choose not to break up, at least you know. So you're not cheated on. You could leave. You could easily leave.
But it would make me upset that my partner would want to put me in the position to possibly leave because they already know how I feel about things.
They're just telling you as it is instead of going out and
so then they would rather risk losing me to go have a strip dance from a stripper than just to have that experience. They'd rather lose me.
It's more based on the control. So for them to know, okay, I found this person who perfects me and makes me feel good and everything's perfect and I can have a perfect life, but here's the things I cannot do, absolutely. And one of them is in a dance from a stripper.
Yeah.
Absolutely cannot do it. That level of control for that person might be deteriorating their self-esteem, their personality, who they are, and they might not find any problem wrong with it.
But then I feel like then they should be with somebody who has weaker boundaries, who's more okay with those things, has a more free spirit. Yeah.
They let you know. They say, this is what it's going to happen, this is what's going to, instead of lying, because...
The thing is like, I would prefer that situation of somebody just being super transparent, being 100%, but I'd rather not be in that situation at all. So like...
Of course, but what is the situation that you end up seeing? You see cheating every single day.
Yeah.
Cheating happens all the time.
Yeah.
With almost every person you know. They just decide, my partner would never allow me to do this, so I do it behind my partner's back.
Yeah.
And that never goes well. They keep those secrets deteriorate the relationship, it deteriorates the core of their relationship, and then they never form a relationship strong enough to even be good enough to even be in. Then they end up getting divorced. Divorce rates are 50%. So why would you want to be in that? So you let your partner...
I agree. I think you should be more free and more open-minded and like have those conversations with your partner. But if they're not on the same page, then you need to figure something out. Like maybe you need to even leave the relationship.
You could leave the relationship, but what you're gonna find is if everybody was open and honest about their wants and their desires and they were considerate, they weren't overboard like, oh, I want to have an orgy with 10 people.
Yeah.
Like they were just considerate and they were just like, I like to go to the bar and be flirted with. Say it was a girl, she's 18 years old and she liked to go to the bar and be flirted with. That's a decent consideration.
But then, no, because it feels like at the end of the day, like even though it may feel like possession or whatever, like at the end of the day, when that person goes out there and they're flirting with another person, it's like the respect of the person back home. You know what I mean? It's like they're out there in the public making you look stupid.
Yeah, but that's just your ego.
And I get that. All of cheating is ego because it's like, that's your body. It's not my body. I don't control your body. And you should be free to do whatever you want with your body. I also believe there's spiritual reasons for that too. I believe sexual intimacy can cause soul ties and babies and babies that you didn't want to have. And I don't know. I just like my mind, it's hard for it to open, like stretch that far. It's like, it's hard for me to believe that men are so biologically hardwired that they just need to have validation from so many different women all the time.
I don't think it's because of validation. Well, maybe it is a little bit.
I think, like, why do you think men cheat and why do you think women cheat? Or do you think it's the same reason for both of them?
No, I think it's way different for both. I think men cheat as part of their...
Because men will cheat in happy relationships. They could love their wife and they'll still cheat. Where women don't usually do that.
Yeah, because they don't interfere with each other at all.
See, that's crazy to me. To me, that would be like a very narcissistic or selfish point of view, is to think that my love for my wife doesn't interfere with my love for my side chick or the stripper tonight or whatever. It's like, I get it, even though one person's long term and maybe it fits a different need. Yeah, I get that. It fits a different need, but it's like, again, like if you love your partner so much, then wouldn't you feel so guilty and shameful and disgusting doing that to them?
Not if you're open and honest about the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're hiding it, for sure, you're probably going to feel shameful, disgusted, everything. But if you're open and honest about the whole thing...
But I think even the open and honesty can ruin the relationship. Because
For sure.
because because you clear your conscience and now you feel good about it because you're so open and honest, doesn't mean the other person has to process that and take that in and be like, shit.
And they can probably deal with it too. If you're both 22 years old, only dated each other, for sure you should have issues with commitment. Yeah. I'm thinking about other
I think that's
people.
normal. I think anyone even in their 20s in general should, it's an issue to commit because a lot of us are not thinking about having families and like getting married and settling down and getting a house and
building the relationship,
sharing our money, all that stuff. Like we're just
So it should be a problem. So if it is a problem, shouldn't every 22-year-old be discussing it? Shouldn't they not be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this a secret?
Well, then maybe.
And when I go to Vegas, that's when I'm gonna, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so I'll just keep it in Vegas. Or when I go out to the bar, I'll just.
I think people, then maybe they shouldn't get in relationships. They should go have all their fun, get in short-term relationships, and be super honest about their intentions with people. Hey, I'm not looking for a relationship. I actually just want to have some fun.
I'm sure that's the advice I'm going to give my kids. You date 5 or 6 people at the same time. You don't commit to a single one of them, and you don't commit for maybe 5 to 10 years. Because if you commit...
When you say date 5, what do you mean date?
I mean date. You go on dates, you fall in love,
Is there intimacy with all 5 of those people?
If you're not selling yourself short, then sure. But if you're selling yourself short, if you're sleeping with somebody who that doesn't excite you in any way, you're just doing it to get some bodily excitement, then you're selling yourself short. You're just doing it to be slutty. You're doing it to be a whore, a man whore. You're just doing it for chemicals. You're not doing it for love. But if you're in love...
I feel like there's still a stigma even attached to that. Especially for women to have a roster.
Yeah, because I don't think women love the same way men love. They're different.
I also think when you put your energy into multiple people, you're not true in any relationship if you have multiple relationships.
You're true. The same way that you have relationships with all your brothers, all your sisters, none of it interferes with anything else.
No, but I don't look at it that way. I feel like only one person should be your romantic love need. You know what I mean?
Yes, but that don't mean you have to be romantic with every single person. So, say for example, you're dating
they do something else for you.
You're dating 5 people. You're really close to them. One person you have intimacy with. Then another person tries that intimacy with you, and for some reason you're holding back. You're like, no.
Yeah. And maybe they have a more nurturing spirit.
I would tell my daughter, I would say, you clearly want to be just solely intimate with the other guy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be intimate with 2 guys.
Yeah.
Because when you're intimate with 2 guys, you feel like something's going on, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So take that as a sign. Tell the guy you just want to be friends, and you move on. And you weed out the competition like that, and you find somebody that you truly want to be with.
But what if having those multiple options, and investing those things, makes you not appreciate a person for who they actually are? Because you're like, oh, this is my guy for going out, and this is my guy for sex, and this is my guy for having deep emotional conversations. And now there's no room to find a person to actually fit those.
It'll all fit.
But then what is that, a lifestyle? You have those 5 people forever for the rest of your life?
No, you're always interchanging. You're always going. You.
And then how does that work for a dynamic when you start to have kids and whatnot?
Well, when you have kids, when you're figuring out that you're actually going to have kids, that's the time.
When it all stops?
Yeah, that's the time where you actually settled in. Because you shouldn't just be having kids by accident. You should be having kids by a choice. When you have kids by a choice, that means you've chosen that person.
But if you're putting them all in the same category of love, then wouldn't you just become more your expectations becoming more ridiculous? Wanting everything in one person?
If you're in love with somebody, you're not going to want to spend time with anybody else.
Yeah. Okay, so you're doing these 5 or whatever amount of people to find the person that makes you not want to be with anybody else.
Yeah. And you'll weed them out.
But what if that psychology changes your perspective on relationships, and now it's the opposite? You want just multiple fulfillments of different people.
Then something's missing from your relationship, maybe.
Yeah. Because do you think your partner is supposed to meet all of your needs?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I don't think any partner can meet all of your needs. But I don't think that necessarily means you need to go to another person that's not your family, that's not a friend, that's not your coworker, whatever, to meet that need. I feel like you can get those needs met in your circle.
Yeah. Yes. But that's why men and women differ. You go out with a man and they're able to, some girl stops at a 7-Eleven and she flirts with them. She says, hey, nice jacket. And that man doesn't know what to say, completely tongue-tied, and does nothing. You're like, oh shit, you're a boy. You're a boy. You don't have any game. You don't even trying to develop any game. You can't even talk back to a girl who's just saying you have a nice jacket.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like there's a spectrum to that. Like, I feel like men need to go out, and people need to go into the world to learn how to act around the opposite sex or the sex that they're attracted to.
But they don't.
Yeah, I get that it's important for them to, like, build up their self-esteem.
Navigate.
And yeah, but I don't think they should take it so far where, like, guys today are like, oh, you need to sleep with 300 women. Oh, you need to, like, do all these things to, like, meet this quota of,
I think
like,
they're
manhood.
They're
you know?
saying it not directly because you have to sleep with 300 women, but if you're the type of guy that could sleep with 300 women, then you know,
like, you'll get women.
How to face challenges, because the ultimate challenge in life is women. There's no bigger hurdle in life than women. There's nothing that brings more fear to a man than a woman. You see a woman at a bar and she's the most attractive woman in the world, and you don't talk to her at all, and then for the rest of your life, some men for the rest of their life think about that woman that they never even spoke to.
Well, I've said so many times that most guys that approach me won't even approach me. Like, I'll see them look at me if I go out somewhere, and then, like, 10 minutes later, or, like, after I leave, they add me on Instagram or something, or, like, I don't even know how they found me, but they'll find me on social media.
Do you think that's manly?
No, I think it's lame. It's
lame.
Like, yeah, it's like,
super lame.
I just saw you. Why didn't you go up to me and say something?
Yeah, because they didn't have the courage. They most likely dated a girl in their past that would never let them ever develop that manhood to begin with.
Yeah.
And developing that manhood is so tough. It's so tough. I've gone out with
So
my
then
friends.
what? When you settle down, you lose your manhood?
For sure. Yeah. But
then you become more of a man. You have a family.
No. You don't
take care of a wife and kids.
No,
That's a man.
A man loses 25% of his testosterone by marriage, and he loses another 25% of his testosterone.
That probably also has to do with age.
No, I'm fine with it. I like it. I think it's fine. Because as soon as you enter the age of having kids and being married, you don't need to be chasing women. And you don't need the desire to chase women. So it's fine to embrace that and go into that. There's some guys like Joe Rogan, who's 50-something, and he takes testosterone replacement.
Oh.
And
so would you say testosterone is a big link to cheating?
Yeah, for sure. If you're a man and you're 50 years old and you have a family and you're taking testosterone replacement, and you're feeling the same as an 18-year-old kid, that leads to you're wanting to get out of the house to go pursue your biological desires. You have more courage to talk to women, which men like.
That just sounds animalistic, though.
Sounds
like my
animals.
cat in heat. Like, you can't control yourself. You have no sexual discipline.
We're all animals.
I get it.
If we're not set to reproduce, then we're set for extinction. The world and the population would not at all increase, and we would all die off slowly if we were not set to reproduce.
I read that, I don't know what the statistic was, but a majority of men end up cheating on their wives during pregnancy, which is like understandable in a sense biologically, but not understandable. It's like...
Yeah. I think that's because we have our thinking. That's what separates us from the animals, is we have the ability to think and have sympathy and empathy. And if you're a man and you're still driving for testosterone so hard, so much, you're going to still have those desires every single day.
Do you think men are ever cheating for other reasons, though? That has nothing to do with that? Like emotional reasons?
Yeah. If they don't have that part of their relationship, then they're just cheating for the same reasons.
But let's say they actually are emotionally fulfilled in their relationship. Would they still try to get emotions from another person?
I don't think so. If they're emotionally fulfilled and then they're going out to cheat anyways.
Yeah. So what are they cheating for? Just physical attraction then? It's a lack of something.
No, probably for their own. Like for me, if I were to go out and cheat, it would be because of my lack of testosterone. So
If you cheated, it'd be because your lack of...
yeah, because if I say I'm married and I'm married and I have kids, so my testosterone is at like the testosterone of a 50-year-old man.
Okay.
But I'm 30. I'm 30, turning 32 recently or soon. So if I go out and I don't have much game and I don't really feel sexual, and I know my wife wants me to be sexual, wants me to be pursuing her, wants me to be like I'm still young, my age basically, I'm going to want to figure out how the hell to get there. So sometimes that might mean adding a porn star on Instagram or some big booty girl on Instagram just to
increase your testosterone,
just to increase, because that it's just visual. You see it. You think of sex one time extra in the day, and that leads you to more sex with your wife.
But does that not take away from your wife as well?
If your wife would usually want you to be pursuing her sexually, to making her feel special and to making her feel good and making her feel wanted. But if you have the testosterone of a 50-year-old, you don't. Men in their 40s and 50s often say that their woman wants sex way more than they do.
Yeah.
Married men, because their testosterone decreases, the woman's estrogen increases. She wants, this is her last ditch effort to reproduce. She's only going to be able to reproduce for another, like, a woman can give birth up until 50 years old.
Yeah.
There's obviously medical complications, but they can still do it. So this is their last ditch effort, and everything is designed around biological needs. So she wants more sex.
Yeah.
He can't provide it. But you know what way he can provide it? If he goes and dates a 20-year-old girl. He goes and dates a 20-year-old girl, he will be sprung.
Is there not other ways to do this, though? Is it not going to the gym, having a good diet?
Or testosterone replacement. Yes, you can do all those things.
Even just watching stuff online, you can't just watch porn or something? Like,
no.
Why does it have to be a real experience?
Because you need to trigger your DNA, you need to trigger your biology to activate. And the only way that activates is by real life stimulus.
So you have a son.
Yeah.
And when he gets older and he talks to you about women and stuff, what's going to be your advice for him? Are you going to tell him to date when he's young? Are you going to tell him to wait? Are you going to tell him...
I'm going to tell him to wait.
Or if you saw him cheat on his girlfriend, what would you say?
I'd say you if he cheated and he wasn't honest and vocal and was telling her about the whole scenarios, I'd say you're cheating on her, you're doing her wrong, you need to break up, you need to be on your own, you need to go through your own journeys, and when you're ready to commit and actually tell her the truth every step of the way, because if you cheat on her, you should give her every right to cheat on you. Tell her.
Why is it that it seems like whenever a woman cheats, men cannot take it? They're like, I'm out of this relationship. She's a hoe.
Perfect.
And then when a guy cheats, women 9 times out of 10 are going to stay.
Because biology. So when a woman cheats, she's going to eventually give birth to your kid.
Yeah.
So she gives birth, the kid comes out, it looks 50% of her.
Yeah.
50% of you.
Yeah.
That percent of you can't determine enough if it's actually your kid.
Yeah.
We have fertility tests now that prove it, that helps calm men, and that's been a huge thing. We've seen it with the Murray. Everyone will watch a Murray reel of the baby's not yours, because it triggers our biology. This is what men needed to know.
Yeah.
Is the baby mine? When men cheat, it just means another family somewhere else. Now, if the man, what do women say? They say, as long as you tell me you love me, as long as you love me more than anyone else, and you say you're going to be with me and commit to me more than anyone else, I'll stay. What are they saying that for? They're saying if you have a baby with some other woman somewhere else, as long as you're committed to me and raising this family, I don't give a shit. And we've seen it in our own family.
Yeah.
We've seen women, our own uncles saying, fuck you, don't talk to me at all. I'm going out to cheat. Don't ask me any questions. But what do? They come home every single day. They raise their family. And the woman doesn't divorce them. They stay.
No.
So you ask what's going on. It's all biology. When a man cheats, it's definitely scary. 100% scary. But the only risk it poses is him leaving your family.
Yeah.
When a woman cheats, it's you raising something that's not yours.
Yeah.
Wasting your time, basically. So it has huge biological implications, and the man basically needs to know, is that baby his? You see the scenarios. Look at the scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
You got tons of men on Murray all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They have a baby with some other woman. They find out that the girl that they've been raising for 4 years, that they're completely in love with, isn't theirs. And what happens? They're heartbroken.
Yeah.
So not just heartbroken about her. They don't even give a shit about her. They're not even, oh, she cheated. I'm sad about her cheating on me. They're heartbroken that they're raising a kid that's not theirs. It's somebody else's.
No, that's true.
Yeah. And up until the last 20 to 30 years, there was no way to prove any of that.
So it's just a fear.
Especially because white people had babies with white people and black people had babies with black people. So
they all could just
they all look alike. They all they all look alike. Any baby that comes out could be yours, could be your brother's, could be your uncle's, could be your cousins, could be your friends.
If you were in that situation, would you leave? If you found out years later that one of your children wasn't yours?
Would I leave? I wouldn't leave the kid. I definitely would 100% leave the relationship, but I wouldn't leave the kid because the relationship's already formed. I'm not going to back out of a formed relationship where I love the person.
I guess for a woman, you never have to really deal with that. I mean, there is the fear of like them having a baby outside of your relationship, and then now you having to take that kid in, or like be a step parent,
or just
to that
dealing
kid,
with it,
or dealing with it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why women are like, you absolutely can't cheat, but there's less stigma on men cheating than there is on women.
Like for me, I find almost not everything, but everything like micro cheating, like following a girl, anything that's deceptive. But I feel like it's these things like lead you away from the relationship.
Lead you away from the family.
Yeah, like I was saying, even if you're with your partner and you're out somewhere and you like are locking eyes with another guy or the person you're attracted to, and I'm trying to be fluid now that everyone's bisexual basically, and just like anything that's like disrespecting your partner, like disrespecting the loyalty and the integrity that you formed, and like it would ruin their beliefs and what it would make them believe that they were in an illusion, and like their reality would be invalidated.
If you're doing that in the first 3 years, especially during your infatuation, that's not the person for you at all.
Yeah.
So if you're dating a guy, within 6 months he's looking to the left to get more testosterone from a girl.
This is like a decade in, you think?
Yeah, if this is if you're married and you've been in it for a long ass time and you're both working and you're grinding and
life gets boring.
Life gets boring. People watch all the time. They go to the beach. They look at everything that's in front of them in the beach, and it's
I get the idea of becoming so one with somebody that you feel like you're almost the same person, that you can share these experiences together. And like when people go and they have threesomes, I would never do it, but people go and do it, and I can almost understand that better than the cheating, because to me I always see cheating as a lack, like either a lack within that relationship or a lack within yourself. There's just always a lack to me. It's like, because the way that I have felt in relationships is when I'm in love, like it's literally like I don't see anybody else. It's like I could be walking down the street and my tunnel vision, like I can see that people are attractive, like celebrities or people are attractive, they're good looking, they have good looking features, but I'm not attracted to them. I don't look at them and like, ooh, I want to talk to that guy. Ooh, like wonder what his name is. Like it's never like that. It's like I'm so obsessed with my partner, I'm on their ass, like, but in a good way and a bad way.
What are you obsessed with though? Like, are you obsessed with them? Are you obsessed with controlling them? Are you obsessed with...
Unfortunately, probably a little bit of control because of like the way my narrow-minded views about things, right? So I do crave a lot of control, but I hold myself to the same standard. But also, I just really like that feeling of like, this person's mine. Like, okay, so and then maybe that's a possessive thing.
Let's say, I don't know who's the most attractive man in the world for you, but I'm going to throw out the most alpha man in my realm of the world. Yeah. LeBron James comes, obviously probably not attractive.
I can't even picture what he looks like right now.
But he's an alpha king male of our society. Yeah. Accomplished lots of things, billionaire, all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure because of who he is, to become a person like that, you have to have a lot of qualities and skills and talents and things about you.
Yeah, and you got to work hard.
For people to be attracted to you. So obviously I'd probably be attracted to him if I was having a conversation.
Okay, now let's say he was looking at you like in that way. You wouldn't be like, oh, that would be obviously it would be wrong for your partner, but
Yeah.
that wouldn't be just fun experience to have for you.
See, that's the thing that's hard to say, because I've seen so many of these little videos of people asking like, oh, would you let your partner free pass for so-and-so celebrity, so-and-so, so-and-so? But at the end of the day, they're just people.
Yeah, they're just people. That's what I mean. They're just people.
Yeah.
So LeBron James could easily be some person from
I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, legitimately, would I let my man sleep with Beyonce or Rihanna? I would. I would probably feed off of that too, in some weird ego boost.
So that's
right?
what I mean.
I get that, but that's because I think Rihanna and Beyonce are better than me, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But like,
they're not.
This little
They're not.
Stripper bitch that he cheated on me with, that I know is a downgrade, that hurts my self-esteem.
We've seen Beyonce. She's
Yeah.
a person. She's just a
Yeah.
person. She nothing is super special about her other than her ability to perform and make money.
Yeah.
She's just a person. In a relationship with her, if Jay-Z would be honest and tell her, oh, she fucking screams at me for little things.
Yeah.
She demeans me as a man. She's not nice to the kids.
Yeah.
He could say a ton of stuff about her that would showcase that she's just
he knows
a
the
person.
real her.
He knows the
Yeah.
real her. So if you found out those things, then you would be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
My man cheated with a shitty person,
That's true.
which is equivalent to the stripper. The stripper could be
Yeah.
easily a shitty person or a great person, a really, really great person, because they have a nice personality, nice quality. Everything's about them is good.
I don't know. I guess it's just the stigma and the social thing about it. But yeah, it just feels like an attack on you, even though you're saying it's a full separation where it has nothing to do with each other. Just like you have two separate friends, one from high school, one you met outside of high school. It's going to be completely different.
But where do
things that you bond
when you look
on.
at the friendship, where do friendships start to clash? When you have a best friend,
Yeah.
and then you start to notice that somebody else is becoming their best friend.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, my place in your life is starting to get overtaken by this other person.
Yes.
Now the jealousy comes out.
Yes.
The attacking, the problems start to stem. That's what, if men are going out, seeing a stripper, and then I got to go out every Thursday and Friday to see this girl and talk to her about life, which men do. They do. They pay $800 to sit around with a girl and have to talk to her about their life, tell her every little
That
problem.
doesn't feel like a man.
Trust me. I went to a strip club, and I'm in the booth with the girl, and the guys next to me are just talking about life.
Yeah.
They're talking about work.
Like they're not even there for the dance. They're
They're
there
not-
to like get their emotional needs met.
Yes, their emotional needs met, plus feel validated, plus
Yeah.
feel like all the things that women feel they're there for. That's what they make their most money on. The strippers,
Why do they go and just do that to a stripper? Are they just so lonely?
because strippers are good at it. Strippers know.
Oh,
they
they're
know,
manipulative?
Yeah, they know exactly how to make their money. They make their
Yeah.
money off validating men, off making them feel good, off making them feel worthy, off all of those things.
That makes sense.
And they're professionals at it because that's how they make their life. So they develop the skills
do you
towards it.
think if men could, they would just have like multiple families? If it was
Well,
like not looked down upon?
Billionaires often do.
Yeah.
Millionaires often do. You can't really tell a self-made millionaire what to do. They're going to live
Yeah.
their life any way they want, and whoever's part of it is part of it. And they'll die before they give up that control.
Yeah.
If you went out and made your own money,
Mm-hmm.
and then you started dating some guy who started telling you what you could and couldn't do,
Yeah.
where you could go and where you couldn't go, conversations you could and couldn't have, you'd be like, fuck this. Like, just trust me.
Yeah.
If I fuck up, I'll talk to you about it. But if not,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I think all relationships have to be built on trust.
Hopefully the person's honest with
Yeah.
you and they don't want to pursue those things because you're meeting their desires.
I would love to be in a world where, like you said, where it's just so transparent. Everyone is so honest with their intentions, what they're gonna do, what they're not gonna do, like just everything. Like you wouldn't have to guess or assume, or because the thing is about relationships is you already know intuitively. Like
Yeah. Well, possibly because they're keeping secrets.
yes, like the patterns are off. Like things
Yeah.
that are normal, it's not normal.
I'm sure cheating is probably a fucking to keep your phone separate
Anxiety.
from your partner.
Yeah.
To keep the messages separate, to keep all that shit separate. I am so bad at messaging. I'm so bad at technology. I couldn't organize my shit at all. If I was messaging a girl, it
Yeah.
would just show up on my phone.
Yeah.
She would see it and it would just be a bad. So if anything was ever happening, I tell her ahead of time, like,
Yeah.
there's this girl messaging me. She wants to flirt with me. Sometimes she flirts with me a little too hard, and I just let her know. It's a girl from work. She flirts with me a little too hard. As you can see in my replies.
I would love that kind of honesty in a relationship where he's like, oh, my coworker just messaged me. They're being a little flirty, like whatever. I would love that kind of honesty rather than like, oh, you went into the shower and then I just saw a message pop up on your phone and it was so flirty
and it's
from
the
your
first
coworker.
time in 6 months.
And I know nothing about
and you know
that.
nothing about it.
I don't even know her name.
That's cheating.
You know what I mean? It's like I want to have that best friend relationship where it's so open that you're having that pillow talk. You can say like, oh yeah, one of my coworkers is this person. They're super flirty. Yeah, they messaged me, whatever. But it's like I think that honesty allows you to feel trust in your partner because you're like, oh, they're so open and honest with me that they would like I can tell them how I feel like without being because like the thing is if somebody's open and honest then the other partner has to be receptive to that open and honesty because if I were to just attack you now or get mad, jealous,
then
judgmental,
being hidden,
then it's leads to being hidden, right? Because there's a negative consequence to being honest.
But what usually happens is that's why people are awful. People are pretty horrible. Is when you go ahead and tell your partner, "This is my coworker from work. They're playing a little flirty."
Yeah, because now you're scared every time you go to work. She's thinking you're doing something. What?
Let's say it's a woman or a man or whatever it is. They're now going to be like, "Well, I got free reign now," and they're not.
Yeah.
They don't have the courage enough to tell you about it because they don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go out and do what they want to do.
Yeah, and justify it because you did that
until they get caught.
Yeah.
And then when they get caught, shit just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. It's always best to be honest and open, but I understand people are monsters. People are truly the worst thing on earth.
I think when a relationship becomes so toxic and negative to a point where you're done, but you're still in it, I think it leaves a lot of room for cheating.
When you're young, you still stay in it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you're older, you don't stay in it. You move on, and then you don't cheat. Right?
Yeah, and you get out of things faster. It's like you're not gonna within 3 months if you saw all those red flags, you wouldn't even be in the relationship.
You wouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
Well, some people would. Some people 40 years old still would. So.
Yeah. In your opinion, do you think cheating is recoverable, like repairable? Can you repair that trust after doing that?
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
I think it would take a lot of time. Like life would have to change and like there would have to be something that changes. Like for instance, if I was in a relationship and we just have a boyfriend, like I have a boyfriend and I found out he cheated on me and then he was remorseful about it, I feel like I would want some kind of next level of commitment.
Terms matter though. Terms. So like
like why it happened.
Yeah, you started dating and within the 6 months, but while you were talking to him, he was also talking to another girl and he didn't drop her right away and then he slept with her while he was sleeping with you. Like you could within the first month or 2 months.
I agree with that. Terms. Yeah. Not that saying that there's excuses and justifications that just make it okay. I don't think there is, but again too, I think unless they're like a psychopath, you kind of know intuitively. Like I feel like every person kind of knows. I think guys sometimes don't know, or maybe they do, but they block it out because they're in their own worlds all the time. But I think for women, we know, like we're so intuitive into our partner and how they treat us and everything and how it moves. So once it's off, we're like, something's off. There's a girl. There's something like, and sometimes it's not a girl, but.
No, because that's your livelihood, right? Up until the last 1,000, not even the last 500 years, not even the last 200 years, women completely depended on their partner to make them survive in the world.
Yeah.
If they left you, that means you would die, your kids would die. Unless you had a community to support you, you would die. Yeah. So who you're with is so important. The man, he's not going to die. He's going to go out and scavenge for food. He's going to feed himself. He's going to live. You would die and your kids would die. So God built it within you to be able to determine whether the situation you're in is toxic, whether it's good for you, bad for you, all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, based on our lifestyle and the world we live in today, it's not going to feel very safe. It's not going to feel very good. Men have to go to work. Yeah. They have to be working with female co-workers. They have social media. They have to do a lot of things that involve other people, and other people lead to desires and feelings that come up, and most men. And again, I think that's why it's so important to have that best friend relationship. At the end of the day, you pillow talk everything. So
it leaves no room for that to even like.
But some people can't even
happen
pillow
without
talk,
talking about it. Yeah.
especially when you have kids. You tomorrow morning I'm waking up at 7 a.m. Kids are one's going to school, the others are going to daycare, or no, we're dropping them off at the grandparents' house. Then we're going to the bank. And then
that's escapism. Smoke weed instead.
Yeah, we could
because
smoke.
if life gets so stressful and whatever, and then you start cheating to escape from that, like again, you're risking your family.
Yeah, you're risking your family, and some people think they can get away with it, and you never can, because even when you do it, it's.
And that's why I'm scared to be in power dynamic positions. Like I'm scared if I'm with a man that
makes all the money
and does all the providing, and he feels like he has all the control, then he will most likely cheat on me and feel justified in it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I don't want to feel like that. So I feel like it's important for me to make my own money.
I've been thinking about this for like 10 years, just randomly in the back of my brain. Like, I hope LeBron James does whatever the fuck he wants. Like, whatever he wants. Because here he's got 3 kids. He doesn't have any kids with any other woman. Mm-hmm. He's been with his wife forever. Mm-hmm. So this is selfish, but he's been with his wife forever. He's committed to her since high school. Mm-hmm. He's worked his entire life off making $1 billion for her.
He probably does.
Her and him.
I bet you he does.
Yeah. But I hope he does.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that's really shitty for her.
No, but...
It's shitty for her.
It's how we look at the world, though. It's like we look at him as like a valuable prize. He's the prize.
All people are valuable.
Yeah.
All people are valuable. He could be.
But to the world, he's the prize in the relationship.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that he does because of how hard he works as a man. Yeah. He's committed to his relationship. He's committed to his kids. He's committed to raising them. He's committed to being a part of his relationship.
Yeah, but hopefully sleeping with thoughts with BBLs isn't a part of his desires.
Hopefully, but if he is, I think he deserves it. But at the same time, I understand his wife's concerns, because his wife is a person too. Yeah. She deserves everything too. Mm-hmm. She could have easily just left him. In the end, what I actually hope for is that the 3 of him, her, and whoever, like hopefully it's females. Hopefully LeBron isn't bringing in men in his relationship, but they're having threesomes. They're living, hopefully she's into that. They're living life together. All 3 of them, 4 of them, whatever LeBron wants to do, they're doing. Because she deserves her own place. She's been 17 years old. Mm-hmm. She probably only had sex with one person in her life. Yeah. LeBron. Mm-hmm. And I think about it for her in her entire life.
Oh, like she's dedicated her life to him too.
She's dedicated her life to him too. She's created this home. She's created this environment where he can thrive in.
Yeah.
Does she not deserve, like if he's out with BBL, hookers, strippers, doing whatever the hell he wants, does she not deserve whatever she wants to? Maybe what she wants is not even sex.
I feel like that's when you lose all the love.
Sometimes people overindulge in nothing's like, yes, obviously something's wrong if you're out seeing strippers every day of the week while you have a wife. That's wrong. But to say like
never can do it.
Well, it's the same thing as people who overeat. Like something's wrong. You shouldn't be overeating. Mm-hmm. But if you have an extra couple bites every now and then, no one's going to say you're an awful person. Mm-hmm. Just the same way as if LeBron James' wife, she wanted intimacy where she sat down with some guy and just talked about life for 3 hours straight. No sex, nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure LeBron would not be happy. And he'd be like, fuck no. But he's out playing in the NBA every day. Yeah. He doesn't have time to sit down with her for 4 hours every single night. So if she wanted that, and she only lives once, she could literally die of cancer tomorrow.
But the way that I think about things is, again, I think you can meet your needs through other people, and they don't have to be sexual relationships or even like somebody you're attracted to. Like that emotional need, she can hang out with her girlfriends and get that emotional need met by talking about her problems for 3 hours. Maybe if
she finds the right friends, but sometimes...
Yeah, if you have the right family relationships and the right friends, and you have kids and a husband, and you have... Like, if all of these boxes are checked off in your area of life, I don't think you need any of that, because you just don't even want to... It's like... You don't want the McDonald's. You have a full fridge of fruits and veggies so you get the full gourmet meals.
You get the full fridge.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to eat 3 times a day, and not even that, maybe 2 times a day.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you might want some ice cream. Occasionally, you might want an extra meal. Yeah, but
you have to know that sometimes having the ice cream might mean that
it's going to come with consequences.
You're going to gain some weight.
It's going to come with consequences. Yeah. The same way as LeBron seeing a BBL stripper is going to cause consequences.
Yeah.
The same way his wife seeing or talking to
I don't
some
know.
guy.
I guess it all boils down to my ego and just feeling like somebody, if they were to cheat on me, it's like they're not choosing you. They're not actually choosing you. It's like, and I want to ask you this too. Do you think all men cheat in some way? Like even it's micro cheating? Or do you think there are men that are completely loyal and faithful? But do you think there are guys that it's in their moral compass, like how it would be in mine, to be like, no, like I'm not even going to put myself in the situation?
It's in mine. Like I've 15 years, same relationship. I've had a moral compass. I've had billion opportunities to cheat. My life, like I'm thinking about it, like, oh man, obviously I wish I could have acted on a lot of those things. I wish I could have done those things just for the fun of it. But I didn't for my partner. I didn't to give them that respect. I didn't to crush their ego. But if they could just fucking forget about the ego for a second, I would have a much happier life. I would have a much more fulfilled life because those girls meant nothing at all.
Yeah.
They were just willing to please me. And I turned them all down. And that sucks for me because I'll never have that opportunity ever again.
I get that. Like if you were a single man again, from that point of view, just a human point of view, as we're all humans, and like that would be good for your ego and your validation and your manhood. Yeah. But like also being able to commit to a relationship and fight those temptations, all those things, I think that's also good for your spiritualism and for your manhood. It's like that's what makes you a good husband, a good father, a good whatever, is being able to be sexually disciplined and not given to those temptations.
I also could have been everything that I have been currently, just a little bit more happier. Yeah, a little bit more like, oh, I've had more experiences. I've done some more things in the world that I'm not currently thinking about.
I guess so. I feel like we could go all day. So, is there any closing thoughts that you want to?
No, my head's. I have a headache.
Yeah, and I feel like I have like mixed thoughts now about it. And I still feel like cheating is bad, but then it's like, but not cheating. Allowing your partner to have different experiences.
Full control of their own life without...
Yeah, I don't like anything that's publicly embarrassing. To see evidence of disrespect.
Yeah. I like to say, if I have a son, I would tell him, be honest, completely honest the whole time through. Because you're giving that person a fair chance at life. You're giving that person a fair chance to have their own experiences.
Okay, if they did cheat, I would want them...
What if you're 70 years old, super loving relationship, everything you ever hoped for, everything you ever dreamed of, you've been dating, you've been married for 40 years, then you find out that this man had 150 extra experiences, cocaine-filled experiences, Molly-filled experiences.
While we were together?
Yeah, with other women. You'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. Like, I never did any drugs.
I dedicated my whole life to you.
I dedicated my whole life to you. You know how much times I wish I did Molly
I agree with that.
and did some coke and just did whatever I wanted?
I would like the open conversation. No, I just don't want to be cheated on in general, though. That's the thing. It's like but I would like my partner to have those open conversations of when they're feeling urges or like they feel like they want to.
But they're not going to unless they feel like you're going to
allow it.
No, just listen. Just listen and not do anything back about it. But what you're going to do, women are so catty. What you're going to do is now all of a sudden you're going to add some guys on your Instagram that are into you. You're going to showcase.
Do something petty or spiteful.
Yeah, just to like fight back. It's always about fighting back and gaining control.
I think sometimes it's like, well, you think you can do this? I can do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like for instance, I've complained in relationships I've been in about guys constantly following and liking girls' photos and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like they don't realize like I could do that too. Yeah, I could follow like 30 men right now and I could like all their photos and guess what, they'd all DM me because I'm doing that. But I don't put myself in those positions. I don't do that. And I get it that it's different for men. I get it that they're predators. Mm-hmm. So they need to go and start those conversations usually to make that stuff happen. But it's still disrespect at the end of the day. It's like if I'm not going to put myself in that position, then I don't want you to put yourself in that position. I just don't like the idea of if a man is with me, he should not be a fan of other women. Not publicly.
No, you shouldn't be a fan. No.
Yeah.
You're taking attention away. You're just
like what you said about Savannah. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Then it's like if the whole in tabloids right now is LeBron's cheating, blah blah blah, then she looks like a fool. And it's like you don't want to be humiliated at the end of the day, you know?
No.
And like I know that sounds shallow though, because it's like what you only care what people think of you. It doesn't matter in closed doors. It's like it does, but you work those things out between you two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But being embarrassed for the whole world.
And
that
your
just
kids.
make you feel small.
Your
And
kids
your kids,
too, your family, everyone around you.
But I hate that idea too of just being like, oh yeah, well, you're the wife. You come to all of the meetings and you're the whatever. And
You
then
hold it down and you don't live a life of whatever.
Yes.
Whatever shitty life you have, you live it because I provided this for you.
Yes. And then I have my girls to do whatever and go to
Yeah.
the clubs and the strip clubs and throw money and whatever. Do things that you wouldn't do with your wife, I guess. But
if he's committed to doing it, he would have to bring her with him. With him. If he doesn't want her around any of that lifestyle, then he should just be committed to her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got to let her go. Or
Yeah.
if he's doing it, then he has to let her do it.
And I think that's why men should also assess their lifestyles before getting into relationships, because
But men want it all, right? You only live once and you die.
I guess so. Anyways, that will conclude our episode today. We could honestly go on forever about it, but we hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed having Matthew on today. Hopefully we'll see him again. Hopefully he enjoyed this experience.
Hopefully this is not too controversial for people. Hopefully people aren't DMing me saying you're fucked up, you're all this. Because I don't care.
It's different perspectives. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, everybody's relationship is so taboo. Like, nobody really knows who's fighting over what. Like, I've had people that I don't even really know fight about me. Like, their man, like a man or a woman has told me, like, were you talking to my man? Yeah, like, or they showed me a text message or something of them fighting, thinking that their man is having relations with me. Even though I don't even know their man. He's just liking my photos.
Yeah.
So it's like you never know what people's going on, or if people are actually cheating, or like the micro cheating and all the things that are happening. Even if people look like they're the perfect couple, you know what I mean, or the perfect family.
There's tons of stuff happening, and sometimes people don't want to face it. They don't want to ask questions about it.
They're not going to talk about it in public.
They don't want to know. They don't even want to go in towards it.
I think when I was young, I played a lot of games like that. If I wasn't getting enough intimacy, I'm playing games. Oh, I'm not talking to you all day. I'm going to be a little weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I'm very direct, but unfortunately, I don't think I've talked to people who are receptive in my direct communication, or can even have those conversations like we're talking about. Like, they would just tell me whatever I want to hear and be like, oh, I would never cheat on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll just say the most perfect
and then
things.
You'll see them out in the world.
Yes, and I see how they move in real life in general.
And
just
like,
liar. You're a liar.
Which is basically
Why
you're a
don't
cheater.
you just tell me the truth of what you really want to do, and then maybe we can work about it. You know, work on it.
It's going to get so bad. People are not going to be with anybody at all because
there's no trust.
They don't want to. There's no trust. They don't want to give up anything. They're just going to have sex robots, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's sad, because like I really, especially because the world keeps moving away from traditional, it's like I want to get back to traditional. But yeah, okay. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.